Welcome back to Consumer Update. I'm Kelly Lightbourne. We all know there are a lot of plumbing services out there. You see their vans and their commercials, but if you're like me, you don't know anything about them until it's too late. And what if you also need AC work done? John Gennaro is the president of Red Cap Plumbing and Air. Well, I'm so excited to have you back on the show because you have added some services.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, so in our plumbing company, we wanted to make sure that we took care of the entire home, and one of the main components is the air conditioning. And in that, we like to build the relationship. So in building the relationship, air is a big part of the service for the home. And so we wanted to make sure that we were able to get in that and take care of the home completely.
Now, I also want to stress, because we did have a minute to talk ahead of time, but the application process is pretty strenuous for you guys. You guys have like, what, 100 applicants to one being hired, which is, that's huge.
Yeah, it's about 100 to 1. And it goes, you know, driving, the background of the employee, it goes all the way back to around 18.
Wow.
And then they do it outside of actually our state. So we used to do it inside the state, and then when we went outside of that, it started eliminating a lot of people, which for us is comforting. Well,
besides this, you know, the background checks and the really knowing your employees, which is huge, what else sets you guys apart? Like, what else, you know, customer service, which you don't really get nowadays. It's not something in the plumbing business that you're getting anymore.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of like slam bam, like people are in and out.
I think everybody in general has gone to this idea that fast is better, and fast a lot of times isn't better. Right. Although I like fast, I like I like being there.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't like the idea of building a company on everything being fast. I like fast to take care of the customer. I like to know that our trucks and our employees are set up to succeed. So our guys go through a lot of training. They do training, technical training, and in the home training, they do that twice a week.
Oh, wow.
So we spend about 2.5, 3 hours a week, every single tech coming through that process, so that we're comfortable with the process of you being inside somebody's home. Our trucks are stocked. I mean, it's something that you move all the way through, and it's all about building a relationship so that the customer is comfortable enough to say, hey, I like this, I don't like this.
Right.
And being able to give you options on what you actually choose. Where when I started, we decided what you got. You know, it was one option. I'm doing this and that's it. And that's not necessarily the relationship most people want anymore.
Right.
So it's tough to get, technicians are technical. They like fixing things and moving on. And so the process of building a relationship with the customer is something that really takes some training. And our guys now are comfortable with it.
Right.
But when a guy comes in and he sits down and he starts that process, it can take a little while to actually be comfortable with the fact that we're about a relationship, and that's what we build all the way through, from the time you come in the door to any phone call that you could have months later.
Oh, that's great. And now you're kind of growing that relationship with the consumer and bringing in air conditioning. So tell me a little bit, how did that come about?
So for me, we believe the relationship is spelled out in an agreement, in a service agreement that we give the customer. And I want to be able to make sure that we take care of those customers first. And in the air conditioning, it's a key part to us being able to build that relationship with the customer and protect them. So you get a lot of benefits from having an agreement with us. There's a lot of things. I mean, we look at the history of the customer and go, hey, they've been with us a long time. They get a lot of breaks that somebody else wouldn't.
Like it.
I mean, our guys are allowed to establish by that what they actually can give away. So a lot of our technicians can actually give service away, and it's based on the people that are asking for it, whether they've had a relationship with us and who they're asking for that for. So one of the cool things about my guys, they can come into a meeting and they can say, hey, we want to take care of somebody. This customer's had a relationship with us a long time and they're asking for help for somebody. And they stand up and decide that they're going to do that. And it's just a part of the culture that we get to build by having relationships with our customers versus just a service and that's it.
And that's great. What's the process like for me? As a customer, like you think of, okay, I call a plumber, they come in, but like I said, I'm not hearing that from you. I'm hearing we grow with you. So I would know my techs, I would know people, and grow with you, correct?
Yeah, so when if you call for service for the first time, they're going to let you know that you're going to get an email.
Okay.
The email is going to have the technician that's coming to your home.
Great, ahead of time. Right.
Ahead of time. And that's an independent service so that you can go and see the profile. It gives a little history of them. It gives their rating, and it's all independent from us.
Really?
And then when the tech gets there, he goes through what the options are that you have to pick for the services, and then all the way at the end of that transaction, the same email, and then you get to rate that technician independent of our company. So it's an independent service that gives us the rating for each technician.
Well, it seems like with you, there's a lot of checks and balances. There are checks on the front end, there's checks on the back end, which really gives the customers the benefit. We get better customer service. We get, just a better experience all the way around, which is really impressive, especially from a plumbing, now air-conditioned services.
Yeah.
So how's the air-conditioned side going for you?
Actually, what we did was we went out and said, hey, we're going to build what we consider the perfect model for air conditioning, which is the relationship model. So the advertising side of it is not a big component. We're actually building it off the service agreements that we have, and those customers have been getting the first offer of services and all the things that we want to promote are to our existing customer base. And I don't have this huge rush to go out there and build this huge air company. It's just to give those services to the customers that already have a relationship with us. So this is going to be a lot of fun for me because I'm buying the ideal truck and the ideal manager, and we spent about 6 months finding the right player that fit our culture. And, so this is fun. This is the part that now I get to go, we're going to increase our service offerings, and we're going to do it exactly the way I want to, and that's a lot of fun.
It seems like a steady growth, which is great. So how do people find out about you? Is it best to go on your website? They have an awesome website.
Yeah,
so you can
the
go
easiest
and learn.
is just to go to Red Cap Plumbing or Red Cap Plumbing and Air, and you can see a history of the company there. The technicians are there. There's just a lot of information.
Yeah, a lot of it. Well, thank you again for coming on our show.
Okay,
a lot
thank
of great
you.
information today. That's all we have time for this edition of Consumer Update. Thanks for watching. Consumer Update was brought to you by Peaks of Health Metabolic Medical Center, Golden Diamond Source, and Red Cap Plumbing and AC.